Hello and welcome to Are You Ready To? I had a great time this past year finding some awesome items at flea markets, yard sales, thrift shops, and even some on the side of the road with a free sign. Here are just some of my 2024 favorite finds, starting with this beautiful rag rope basket. How gorgeous is this basket? Look at the colors, look at the details. I use it all the time. Love that basket. I bought a lot of antique books over this past year, but here are two of my favorites from 1901, the Standard Book of Recipes on the right and the Illustrious Life of William McKinley, our martyred president, on the left. The William McKinley book is signed and dated 1901. This book definitely told two stories, as I found book agent's ephemera tucked away in the pages, all dated 1901 as well. How cool is that? These books are definitely two of my favorite antique book finds of the year. At a flea market, I also found this big box of antique postcards. Look at how gorgeous these postcards are. All the embossing, all the stamping, the details, the coloring, just absolutely stunning. There's a lot of canceled stamps and post-dated postcards throughout this collection. There's also some unused postcards as well. I feel like these were somebody's entire collection because when I read through the postcards, a lot of them were dated and addressed to the same person. But how cool is this? I feel like I just found a treasure hunter's treasure when finding this box. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, if I'm going to keep them or split them up and put them on my Etsy shop for others to enjoy, which I'm kind of leaning in that direction because they're so precious and too beautiful not to share. I love vintage packaging and vintage items. Look at this awesome letter iron-on. It's just so cool. It's from Lansdale, PA, and definitely one of my favorite vintage packaged items. I did a whole thrifting and gifting short series this year, and this was one of my favorite thrifty gifts. I gave this to my boys. They love this vintage M&M dispenser just as much as I do. How much fun is this? I also learned a lot about playing cards and their value and history, and it's actually quite interesting if you ever want to read the history of playing cards when they were first created and what some of the first games were and all that goes along with it. But I found these two sets of Congress playing cards, both unique, both really neat, more of a rare find, and this one here is sealed, so I thought that was really cool. And I'm going to keep collecting Congress playing cards and probably end up selling them as a bundle set on my Etsy shop. Community cookbooks. What is not to love about community cookbooks? I absolutely love buying community cookbooks. I pick them up everywhere I go, whenever I see them. I love just paging through. A lot of times they're marked with people's favorite recipes, which helps me out and tells me which one to try, and personal notes. They're just so neat. They're an awesome part of history. I encourage everybody to go out and pick up community cookbooks when you see them. HCO Collectibles are something that I'm always drawn to, and I was very much drawn to these two beautiful wall hangs. I knew exactly where I was going to put them. They're dated 1978. Look at the coloring. They're in great shape, and they came in a pair, and there's something I just love about pairs. I just get really excited when I find a pair of collectibles, and I love how it looks hanging on one of my kitchen walls. I also found this beautiful berry picture. I already had one, so back to the pairs. One was hanging in my pantry, and now I have two. that leads me to these amazing vintage canisters that I picked up at a yard sale. I couldn't believe that the woman who sold them to me wanted to get rid of them. No judgment. I know we can't hang on to things forever, but you know what they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure, and this certainly is a treasure of the year for me. At another yard sale for $3, I found this beautiful Fallsgraph jug lamp. Look at this. It's in great condition. It's in perfect working order. There was a few scuffs on it and they rubbed right off of this lamp. It's just absolutely beautiful. I came across a lot of vintage hankies throughout the year, and this is one of a pair that I found from Switzerland. And another thrifty find from my thrifting and gifting series is this beautiful berry canister along with the beautiful berry tray. I put them together in a gift set. Absolutely love how that turned out. The lace that you see tied around that honey bear, I picked up at a Goodwill. I found a bunch of fabric pieces and lace pieces, and I've used that so many times already. This Heritage House trinket box is a collectible, absolutely beautiful, one of my favorite flea market finds, and it plays Somewhere Over the Rainbow. How precious is that? I just really love that. Great 2024 find. Not only do I love vintage packaging, but I also love vintage velvet. Look at this amazing vintage velvet photo album. Absolutely stunning. It's in pretty good condition, and I can't wait to craft with this. I've used these heavy duty scissors. I found them at a paper pound thrift shop, didn't pay much for them, used them many times. Here's some more great vintage packaging. This had to make my favorites list. Look at it. It's amazing. Okay, I found a box of vintage mugs on the side of the road with a free sign. The Ono Big 5-0 and the Crayola Craft mug are two of my favorite finds out of that box. This is kind of like a rest in peace for that Ono the Big 5-0 mug, because my boys did break that when they were throwing a ball in the house. Look at this beautiful yard sale find. It's a silver plated beehive vintage tea kettle along with a sugar canister and cream canister. How gorgeous is this tea set? It's well made. It was tarnished and it just shined up so beautifully. You wouldn't believe how awesome this looks in person. Really, I can't describe how beautiful that tea kettle set is. Vintage stampers are some of my favorite finds, and if I had to pick some of the stampers I found that were my favorites, these are my favorites right here. The original emojis, the smiley face stamps. I remember getting these on my worksheets as a child in elementary school, and really even throughout middle school. I've used this picture on a daily basis. Another one of my favorite finds. Absolutely love it. Love the color. Paid a really low price for it at a paper pound thrift shop. That concludes some of my favorite 2024 finds. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great new year, and thank you for watching Are You Ready To?